Come on. Good morning. Hello. Hi, everybody. It's a bit of a weird angle, this, but it's so you can see what I'm doing, hopefully. And so today, is there anybody there? Bailey, you're going to sit up nicely, show everybody. Come on, up you get. Up, 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 Bailey. Look at my little reindeer. Look at my little cute little reindeer. Happy December. It's the 1st of December. What? Hey, Bailey, what's up with your reindeer ears? Oh, look at him. That's nice. That's nice. Oh, old Alfie wants one as well. Here, Alfie. You can have one. Is it not fitting right? Put your hood down then. Put your hood down and it's a bit tight, isn't it? Right, you've done your bit now. Let's get your arm out. Let's take it off. It's a bit tight. Too big, Bailey. Let's put that there. Right. Dough. Is there anybody there? Is there anybody with me? Right, first of all, I want to share with you, I've realised it's the 1st of December and I'm all right with Christmas songs now. I wasn't all right with Christmas songs yesterday because it was November. I'm all right with Christmas songs now and we can all get a little bit festive. Yeah, all right, I know. Am I supposed to make anything with you two around? Cheeky. So, what I wanted to share with you is there's been a lot of Elf on the Shelf cropping up. So I thought this morning what I've been doing is I've been making one. So if you haven't got an Elf on the Shelf, you can make it out of Fimo clay. So I've just finished his eyes. So I've got older teenagers and older kids in their 20s. So what I'm going to do for the ones that are at home is I'm going to hide him round the house, and instead of him having an advent calendar, I'm going to buy something like some nice chocolates, nice sweets, so that whoever finds him gets the sweets every day. So that means I need to go chocolate shopping. But what makes him look like Elf on the Shelf is those funky retro eyes. So I'm quite liking him. Although, if you make this out of Fimo clay, his legs will snap off if you're not really, really careful, because they're really thin and they will snap off. It'll glue back together, but just be careful. So I'll put a picture of that on, and I've put together a picture of the components that you're making with. So let's put you on there, Elf. And Doughcraft. I'll put the recipe on my page to make it, but the book that I chose it from was like 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of salt, and 3/4 cup of water with half a teaspoon of cooking oil in it. So I've done that and it seems to have worked all right. So I've got my dough made here. And the thing is with the dough modelling, is you have to knead it for a good 10 minutes. Because I made a shed load of it, cheap as chips, cooking salt, plain flour, cheap as chips. And the reason I first got into making dough is when I saw a really cute sheep in a shop in the Lake District, and it was made out of dough. And what dough allows you to do is produce things that are a lot bigger than the Fimo, because it's a lot cheaper. But the only thing is, you've got to be careful with it, because it can deteriorate and rot away. So if you've got to store it somewhere where it's very dry, because it's got a lot of salt in it. You need to varnish it afterwards, after you've painted it. and you need to keep it in a dry place, because if it gets any moisture in it, they just fall to bits. So but if it's not, it doesn't really cost a lot of money to make. So I wanted to let you know about the 2 books. I've got loads of Doughcraft books, and you can try making dough with you know, your what did I call it, Sugarcraft little bits and pieces. So I've got things like that, little for flowers, that's for bigger flowers, and that's for medium sized flowers, and they're just plunger things, so they're really, really good for Doughcraft. And I've got a load of books for Doughcraft, and because I had a flick through them, and this one, Fairy Tale Doughcraft, I've ordered a copy of this because it's got, if you've got kids, it is so cute. I'm going to show you some of the pictures. Let's have a look. It's so cute. Look at that little, look at that. It's got like little Red Riding Hood, and those, the thing is, if you can make them as big as you like, really, but you've just got to be careful how you dry them out. So basically, to get them hardened, you have to, oh, look at this as well. This shows you how old this book is. I wonder which one I wonder if that was that Chloe who did that, or it might have been Charlie, but I have had this a long time. So one of them kids didn't like that picture. But I quite like keeping things like that. I'm going to show her this afterwards. Look what you've done to my book. So I've got Fairy Tale. Oh, look, and Thumbelina, I think that is on the back. So those, I loved making some of those. I've made some of them. I've got pictures of loads of them, but I can't find them. I'll try and find them. And the other book that I ordered as well is this one. They're second-hand ones, but they've got some, that's more sort of countrified. I've made loads of them out of there. But one of the ones that I've made last night, look, they've got simple things like rabbits, but I just think they look much more kind of rustic-like. And things like little garlands. I asked my mum to find them and she couldn't find them. I've made her, years and years ago, I made her like a Christmas wreath. And I've made that one as well. So these plaques, you just, can you see in the top there? That's just a paper clip opened out, and you just shove it in the top. Just shove it in the top before you put it in the oven. And unlike Fimo, you're pretty much drying it out. You're pretty much drying it out in the oven rather than cooking it. Because if you try and blast it, they just crack. Look at that, I've made that as well. Oh, so cute. So there's so many, but the thing is, if you've got kids and you want to entertain them, and you can put them on things like bits of wood. Now you can make that, couldn't you, for a gift for somebody? I'm sure somebody would like that. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple of simple ones. I was going to ask you which ones you fancy, just to let you know. That's the one I made last night, but I haven't painted it, but I'm going to show it you anyway. So that's the one that I made last night. Cute little bread basket. So that's just dried out naturally, so it's still soft underneath. I'll have to put it in the oven. But I don't know whether you can see there. Should we have some light on this? I don't know whether it's better or worse with the light. So you can see what I've used there. The little things that I've made to make it look a little bit more realistic are, these are great for cloves, and they smell amazing. Cloves, so they're really good for the bottoms of things like apples, so you just push it in, and poppy seeds and some sesame seeds. So that's what I've used for them. And because it's Christmas, I thought that I would make one Christmassy one. I want to make that one for you, so we'll see how we get on for time. I don't want to bore you too much, I'm just giving you ideas. But things like that, they're so easy to make, and you just add a bit of ribbon and it just looks, look, don't you think they're lovely, those garlands? Aren't they lovely? And have a go. It doesn't, because it's not really costing much. Right, mate, which one am I making? I was going to make that, let's see, and I was going to make a snowman and a sheep. So I wanted to make that sheep for you, and we'll talk about Raymond in a minute. Look at that. Oh, cute little pigs. Right, where is my Tells you how to do it all. Where's the one that I was going to make with a snowman in it? Don't know. Right, should we crack on with this? So we'll have a go at making that, because that is super duper easy. And I think that's got cloves for eyes as well, has it? Yeah, she's got cloves for eyes. Right, so I'm going to show you what you need. Can you see? And I could have gone downstairs. I could have gone downstairs and got my rolling pin out, but I didn't. Hi Talia, hi Barbara. So you can't really go wrong with these. You can make a whole family of sheep. So make it into your, I'll hoover up after. Well, dog hair in it already. So what I'm using as a rolling pin is that, but I don't think I need that much. You do, once you've made your dough, you do have to keep it covered up, otherwise it just starts to dry out. And I've got mine in a lunchbox, so you can do that. You can make a big batch of it, and then you can just keep it for the week and have a crafty week. Right, so we want our sheep to be, hello, you're looking at me. Did you not like you? Oh, do you know what? I don't even need to. It's so easy, this. And I'm going to need some cloves. And this is amazing. So what I've got there, I've used it for Fimo and I forgot to clean it out, so it might have bits of white in it, but who cares? Let's first of all, before we do his fur, let's first of all give him some legs. Now, I'm going to show you Raymond. I redid his horns. Raymond Ram. Can you see Raymond Ram? Raymond Ram, and I found something to make the little circles on. But because it involved so many little bobbles to stick and push, you can see how I've squished him. And all his legs have squished up because I kept pushing down on him. What I should have done, really, see, his face is all right where I've not touched it, but he's squished down because I think what I could have done differently is I could have, that clay was fresh out of the packet. Now, it was a new packet, but it was fresh out of the packet, and I should have really suppled it up first before I should have suppled it up before I stuck him together, because it's easier to do if it's not quite so hard. What y'all doing? Right, so I'm just doing these couple of balls for his legs, and I like mine a bit chunkier than that one there. I don't know whether it actually, maybe that's too chunky. Let's see. What an experience I had yesterday. I cannot actually believe it. Oh, I'm not going shopping ever again. I'm not going shopping ever again. I went to the supermarket. And I was going for something for my mother-in-law. Now, I think them legs are a bit... do you think they're a bit... Let's have them just a tiny bit bigger than that. I went to the supermarket and I got my little trolley because I didn't need a right lot of stuff. And I wheeled in the supermarket and my wheel got stuck. You know, on trolleys, your wheel gets stuck. Well, my wheel got stuck. And have a guess what it was stuck in my wheel? I'm not even joking you. Poo. Poo. And it was inside the shop. I have no clue. And somebody had already walked in it. Hey Danielle, somebody had already walked in it and squished it down, and I went over it with my trolley, and it made me wheels clog up. How do you get a poo on the floor in the supermarket? Can't have been a guide dog, so the only thing I could think of was it's some little toddler had a little accident. But you'd think the mother would say, wouldn't you? Right. Can you see how I stuck his legs on? And what else happened? Then I came out of the supermarket and I couldn't find my car. Have you ever done that? And then you're walking along and you don't want people to look at you. You don't want people to look at you. So you don't know whether to just walk confidently in a direction and just look cool, or stand there for a few seconds and think, get out, you. You can't have it. You can't have it. Right. Oh, I need some water. I could do with some water. I need some water. Wait, I forgot my water. Let me go and get my water. Right, come on, dogs. Right, I'm back. I'm back. I forgot. You need a little bit of water just to dip your finger in, or you can use a paintbrush just to like make it stick, otherwise it won't stick. So there we go. Looks just like a sheep now, doesn't it? Right, this is the fun part. This is the proper fun part. Right, are you watching? Are you watching, dogs? Love this. This is the best part about this. Right. So anyway, I found... It's not to eat. Let's put a little bit of water on him. So it sticks. Don't eat it. I know it smells like it's supposed to be. You can't. Look. Right, and then... So you've got your doodads here. And you can make it as neat or as... I like making them all curly. Bailey, I love it how you help me, but sometimes you just get... So you can just do little curls and separate them off, and so cute. Kids love doing this. Kids and dogs love doing this. It's Tuesday, and have you all started doing your advent calendars? Right, I'm doing this because, right, I'm not even putting any sort of care into it. And I will post a picture of when I have painted it. But this one here, I don't think I'm going to do a right lot of painting on it. It's cute, isn't it? I might paint the face and the legs like this one on here. Can't decide. Right, more. What y'all doing? Tell me what y'all doing. So I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself. He's got his winter coat on. I don't know what this one's going to be called. And then what you could do, so he's got to have his head going on somewhere. I don't know what you could do. Let's see. His head's going to have to go on somewhere. Let's see. And that one, we've got a ram on there as well. This one's not a ram. So you can see you've got your tools, just really simple tools like that. But everybody should make dough for your kids, because you can't, like, it's a bit like Play-Doh, but you can, because you can dry it out. It goes hard, dry it out. And I'll put the instructions. I'll just take a picture of the book that I've copied. So, oh, look at that. Oh, how, right. Who didn't love doing that as a kid? Who didn't love doing that? And then you can, if you want to be really, really crafty, you can do little 1 or 2 ones, and then you get a little swirls of them, or like individual ones. But this, if you want to give this as a gift to somebody, you know, it's not really cost you any money, has it? No one should be spending much money. I'm really, really chuffed this Christmas that this Christmas is going to be the Christmas where I pack it in spending too much money at Christmas. I'm not doing it anymore. He hasn't got a little tail, but I think he deserves one. That's a bit messy there. I might have to do some adjustments there. And there he's got his little tail. So remember, it might be easier to do your Doughcraft. It might be a bit easier to do it straight on the tray. This is messy here, so I'm just going to put some single ones on that look like I've actually cared about him. You alright, dogs? Have your kids all, anybody who's got kids, have they all started with their advent calendars? No doubt we're going to see loads and loads of elves on the shelves, aren't we? Well, I think that's a bit more of a grown-up version for my kids. They're not bothered about what he's doing naughty, are they? They're bothered about sweets. Right, I think I'm done with that. Let's just do another couple here. And I'm going to have to sort my nails out. I'm going to have to sort my nails out because they've cheap nail varnish and it's just all coming off. But I'll enjoy doing those. It's cute. Right, what's the head now? Hello, 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 hello. Right, let's do his head. I think he's got some. It goes right round there, actually, this stuff. Let's give him some more. Woo! Woo! You know, when you're on your own all day at home, you do stupid things like talking to yourself. Right, that's his fur, or her fur, round her head. I think it needs balancing up here. Right, so if you look at this and you see how easy it is. Right, I'm going to do the head now. And then I really wanted to show you how to do that garland because they're dead easy to make and they look really good. Right, so this, part of the thing with doing these is just getting the proportions right. So does that look about right? Let's put a little bit of water, squash it in there. I want some more. Oh, hang on. She needs some ears, don't she? You have to make sure you don't get this too wet when you're modelling it, though. What are you two doing? Got to look after the babies. Right, so I think that'll do for the ears. And I'm going to try and do them pointy a little bit. Can you see what I'm doing? Try and do them pointy a little bit. Doesn't really matter what they look like, does it? You can put any old little blobs on, they look like ears. Sort of that shape, like a teardrop shape. And then I'm just going to curl it over a bit. Can you see what I'm doing? Just like pinch it, because I think it looks better when it's like that. So I'm going to pinch those ears on there. Let's pinch. I'm not even going to watch this video back because I think I'm actually going mad. Right, so those ears look pretty cute. Those ears look all right. Right, now, what do you need now? Sharon sheep. No, not Sharon sheep, because I know a Sharon. Sandra sheep, Sally sheep. Oh, that's so good. So good. I wonder if it's my, so don't forget to wet it. Now we can use a bit more care and you can use your tools. And you just have to pick these things up like individually. But it looks quite effective. Right. We need some curls, don't you? Need some curls. One more on top, I think. Oh, do I need another one? No, that's all right. Let me see. I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to do another one at the side because I think they look good when they're just individual ones that you can just curl around. Let's make that. Right, there you go. Right, so we said 2 cloves for the eyes. And you get, obviously, you get cloves all, when you get them out, they're all, some of them are broken, some of them are broken, some of them are different sizes. So obviously, try and get 2 that are the same size. Like, oh, not that it really matters that much. And she's got her eyes stuck right on the sides. I don't know whether I like it with cloves, but anyway. And I quite like, let's do this here. There's a line there. And she's got, do they not have noses? They must have a nose. I'm going to give her a nose. Just a little one. Hello. Oh, a bit of water, otherwise it won't stick. Right, so that is I like those better than the I don't think they even have noses like that, but it doesn't matter, does it? Right, so that is Sally the sheep made. Boom. Now what I've got to do is try and get it onto this onto my baking tray. So when you make your clay, your dough, I mean, not your clay, you have to make sure it's not really sloppy. So when you've kneaded it all together, you hold it up like that in a sausage. Hold it up in a sausage, and it shouldn't just go, it shouldn't just stretch down, it should stay quite solid. But you put the oil in it so it's malleable. Right, do you think we can get this off here? Let's see. Right, there she is. Shall I show you? There we go. Can you see her? Can you see? I'll take some pictures afterwards and I'll put her on for you. Right, so we've got a sheep made, and the other thing I wanted to show you how to make was a garland. Let's see, this one. That is, right, that is, if you can plait, that is super easy. It's basically the consistency of the dough that you need to get right. Right, I'm going to have to, you have to make sure you get all this off before it just dries, because then it's really hard to wash. So you see this pretty much, it's not that, oh, that has got some cloves in it. Right, I'm going to need me another packet of it, I think. So, are you ready for a garland? And these, if you leave them, can you see on that one, the bready type bits have just been left and the fruits have been painted, but the whole thing is varnished, and something like yacht varnish is really good. Right, so what we're going to need for this, I don't know how big I'm going to do it. Let's get some more clay out. I call it clay, it's not even clay. I've made bloody loads of this, excuse my French. I've made far too much. Don't know where I thought I was getting all the time to do all this dough making. Right, there we go. So keep it wrapped up, and we're going to have, let's just squish all this together. Oh, and I tell you what, that feels proper good. Feels proper good. Kids love it. Kids love it. Hi, May. Right, so what we're doing, we want 3 equal sausages. Well, they don't have to be equal sausages. And just try and keep your board clean. Or flat surface, I guess, on one of those, you know, your plastic kitchen table mats. But just a word of warning, if you're sticking anything metal in it, I think they're all right, but sometimes I think they rust. Obviously. Oh, isn't it exciting? Look, it's just picked up loads of muck off the board. Right, so we want this. I just think this is a really nice present for adults. Some of those are a bit childish, but the baskets and stuff like that are really... I don't know how this is going to do, but my husband said, well, it's like making bread. If you're kneading it a long time, it sort of helps the gluten. So this is probably the hardest thing to do about this garland. And some of them are just 2 that are twisted, but they just look so effective. And when you varnish them, they look really professional. And there's something that kids, you know, if kids normally buy a present for Nana or buy a present for, you know, mum or whatever, this is something that if you parents, grandparents, sisters, brothers want to do with the children, I would love to receive one of these that someone's took the time to make. Hey, baby. Hello. Hello. What do you want? Right, so we've got our 3 doodahs, haven't we? Let's pinch them together. And then we're going... It's all wet there. Silly me. Can you remember how to plait? Do you know what? I can do a plait, but I can't do a French plait. So if your dough's too wet or too dry, you'll struggle with this. You'd even eat this, wouldn't you, Bailey? So you just have to have a little... Hang on, that's not right, is it? And then that goes there. So you just have to have a little practice. And a good place to join them is down at the bottom. Join them down at the bottom where you're going to cover it with that fruit. And then it won't matter, will it? Won't matter if it's gone a bit wrong. So what we'll do is, remember the water to stick it together. And then just squish it down. Squish it down. So just make it in, you can remodel it when you've got it on your tray. It's probably a bit easier to do on a tray, to be fair. But I don't know who I'm going to give this to, but this is one of my favourite ones. And I've got my flower cutters. I think I'll use the large ones, but I might use those. But then it looks like little black currants or something. Blueberries or something. So there's got basically three circles down at the bottom. Let's have a bit of a flatter bit there, and then we can put our oranges on. And if you remember the cloves that I had before, oh, they smell so good. They smell like Christmas, don't they? I can't wait to make mince pies. I might make some today. I've got to do the shopping today, though. Right, so that's our orange. And obviously an orange has a clove stuck in it. And I'm going to do it a bit off centre just to make it look a little bit different. And then we've got an apple. Orange apple, similar size. I mean, this is not, to be fair, it's not to scale, is it? And what I should have done first, actually, is I should have done the leaves first, because we're putting the fruit on top of the leaves. Let's do some leaves. And leaves look like leaves because everything starts off as a ball. Right? So squidge it like that, squidge it like that. Let me show you a leaf. So a leaf is just a squidged down ball shape, but pinch it into points at both sides. So just squash it down as big and as flat as you want, and then it's so easy to model. That's quite a big leaf there. It's really, really easy. So this goes up here. This one goes right up here. And I tell you where the magic happens. The magic happens when you paint these things. So we're going to give it some detail. You can make them kind of as detailed. Leaves are really easy to do. So we've got a leaf there. So it's basically leaves and then the fruit and then other things dotted round. And I'm going to actually see if I can find a... I'm going to see if I can find a... I've got a paper clip there, but to try and push in the top. So I'm just going to open it out. Can you see? Can you see? So you've got that shape there, and you can just push it in the top. And that's not going to go all the way through. Just going to do it while it's better to do it real. Just make sure it doesn't. Actually, that's not good, that is it? It needs to be sort of flat to the wall, doesn't it? Right. Hopefully that's stuck all right. When I turn it round, I'll have a look, see what that looks like on the other side. Don't want to squash it too much. Right, leaf on the other side. That's too big. You've got to work fast with this stuff because I want it to make a... Oh, I know what I'm going to make. Right, leaf shape. Easy peasy, 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 peasy. I want to see some dough crafting going on. Claire Jones, you told me that you've started doing dough craft, so I want to see some evidence. There's no need at all. I am, for the first time ever, looking forward to Christmas. And I know it sounds awful, doesn't it? Because it's not that I don't like seeing my family. I just don't like the stress of it. Don't like the stress of it. Everybody argues about who's doing what and where you're going and who's cooking and who's not. And right, so we're going to have 2 more leaves there. We'll make those equal and 2 more leaves here. But so easy. If you do anything today, have a go. And do you know what? I realise that I can't do much crafting that brilliantly when I haven't got a good light on. But because Doughcraft is, you can make things bigger, it doesn't feel as fiddly and it feels much more like rustic kitchen. I'm going to hunt and see if I can find all the ones that I've made in the past. I've got loads. And do you remember me telling you, anybody who's even listening, I'll give away them books, but I want to see the best crafting project, and then you'll have all holidays to make really good stuff. And I'd be so interested to see if anybody makes Elf on the Shelf. It's just doing it, isn't it? And knowing that you've just made something, and that all that Fimo I've got left over, it's like it's just what I already had. Add a bit of Vaseline, boom. Hi Rachel, how are you? So we're doing a bit of crafting today. So I've got, I told you I should have put this on first, so I'm going to take that off. And I think it looks quite good if, right, so you remember me leaf shaped little teardrops. You can make them sort of more pointed on one side if you like. So you can see we've got a little bit of a pattern going on there, and most of this is going to be covered by the fruit, but it just looks, it's just a nice little detail. And kids, I wish my kids were young enough to make me stuff now. I'm going to take that, I'm going to do it again. Let's do it again. I might do another couple of leaves there, you know, because there's a bit of a gap there, isn't there? Little ones. Variety is the spice of life. Those cloves smell amazing. So I've got 3 things there. 3 things. I made that bread basket, and I know, like, my mum would really like that, and she'd be happy with that. I've got to get some photographs, family photographs. Can you see what I'm doing? I'll show it you. But that, how you plait the stuff, I just think it just looks so effective. What do you think? Right, bit of water going on there. There. So let's have those there and there. So easy, honestly. I had to get my husband to help me with the kneading last night because I didn't have the muscle power or all the patience to be kneading it for 10-15 minutes. It's hard work, you know. And he makes bread as well. Right, so we're looking good now. Let's put our orange on. And we're going to stick the orange there. Stick the orange right in there. And stick that in. Right, now we're going to have the apple. This is getting a bit, that's getting a bit dry. Let's put it in its plastic. You sort of have to guess. It's looking good already, isn't it? Hi, Bethan. Nice of you, somebody to join me anyway. Well, I promised you I'd do it this week, so I'll do it. So what you can do is just watch them and like scroll across to the good bits, like when I've finished it. So I've tried to do that in more of an apple shape, and you have to sort of squish them together. But that is my apple, and I've got these funky little things here. I think I'm going to use those. Oh, I love my new tools. I've got a set like that. Set like that. Oh, love them. Proper love them. And I've got some little things like that. But, you know, if you like doing crafty stuff anyway, you can use them for next year. Right, do you know what? I'm even going to do a little leaf on this. I'm going to do a little leaf on this apple. I think it deserves it. So when that's painted, it'll just, those little details, the painted details are really gonna stick out. So it just has to be a tiny little leaf for the apple. Let's see how that goes on. A little bit of water. Little bit of water. Squidge it on. And then I've got to do my leaf details. And do you know what? I'm taking that off because I think I'm going to take the bobbly bit off the clove if I can. And just have it like that, because that doesn't really look like a stalk, I don't think. So I'm going to push it in that way. Now I've got all bits of clove everywhere. If I can just cut off that. No. cut off the little bit and just shove it in that way. Of course, that looks just like an apple, doesn't it? Right, so that's my apple, and we've got a pear. The pear has got a leaf on it as well. Hi Sue, hi Hanan, hi Kathy, hi Lucy. Look, we're nearly getting done with this. This is what I'm making for all you that have joined me. So I'm making that one. And then we're going to have a break, but I'm going to come back. I'm going to make myself a brew, and then I'm going to come back and make the snowman that I've seen in one of the other books, because that is so easy. And obviously we don't get any snow really round here. Right, so can you see I'm making pear shape? And just wet the other fruit as well. So let's stick it up like that, so it actually looks like a pear. And that's got just a little bit of a sticky bit sticking out as well. And it's got a leaf. But these, oh, they smell so good. I shouldn't be wiping my hands on my pants. These are my good pants. It's because I had my scruffs on yesterday, and I had my scruffs on, so I was wiping my hands all over my pants. Oh, I had a dress on, didn't I? Right, there we go. I think this, just a tiny little leaf. Tiny little leaf, tiny little. I'm going to be busy painting all these, aren't I? And I've got all my hairs in my mouth. Right, tiny bit of water. Actually, you're probably better using a paintbrush to do your water. It's quite soft, this. It feels a lot easier to use than that Fimo. Right, so that's going to be my pear. And then what's it got round it? It's got some, they look like strawberries. They look like strawberries, but they don't look very strawberry shaped. How many have we got? 5 strawberries stuck here round this bit. I think this is going to look nice. I'll be interested to see how it dries. Right, so we've got 5 strawberries, and it looks like 4 plums on the other side, and then some little ones in the middle that look really sweet. But I'm quite pleased with that. Right, strawberries, obviously, they just put them like thingies on there, like just balls, but not even. Obviously, everybody knows how to make a strawberry shape. Just make it into a little cone. But one thing I have forgotten to do, that I should have done, put my little, and I'm doing it now because, you know, your texture on your orange, it just makes it makes you know it's an orange, you see. Booby-dooby-dooby-doo. Oh, do you know what? It is so mindful because I've got a lot to do today. I've got to go and do the shopping. I'm not going to that supermarket again. I'm not going to the Pooh supermarket again. I sort the meal planner out. I made my husband some soup last night, but now he wants some parsnip soup. And I still haven't made some celery soup. Right, so that's my texture on there, and it's the same with the strawberries. So the strawberries have got a bit of a texture thing going on as well. They're so super duper easy, and the thing is with fruits and stuff is that they don't have to be exact, because you can get fruit any shape, can't you? Right, let's have that one pointing that way, and then one more on top. So these have got, oh, they could do with being tiny little ones. I haven't got any tiny little ones. They look far too big, but it does make them look good, and it makes them smell good. Right, so that's all. I'm going to stick 2 in because that's the 2 bits on the bottom. They should have been, I should have done that with a smaller thing, shouldn't I? Smaller little instrument. Treat your kids to some of these, you know. You can get, I noticed that you can get like Fimo packs on Amazon, like 12 quid, and you get like 12 colours or 24 colours, something like that. And the thing is, these here don't really look like much, but they will do when they're painted. And it's like doing, kind of like doing an Airfix model, but you don't have, it don't cost anything. Right, plums. So plums are bigger than strawberries most of the time, aren't they? So let's do those a little bit bigger. Right. So as we know, plums have a big long line in them, or I suppose it could be an apricot. And they've just got 4 of those. Look, they look like coffee beans. It will, I promise you, it will look amazing when it's painted. I'm going to paint this one, and I'll paint the bread one, because the bread one does hardly need any painting. It just needs, I think it's just the ribbon that has a bit of colour on it. The ribbons at the side. Don't be afraid of pushing them in. Push them in, make sure they don't fall off. You can always add the detail in again. Right, one more plum. I think that needs another strawberry on the other side because it's not balanced up. Right, so we'll have a... Oh, thanks, Hanan. It will be pretty when it's done. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Long time no see, Lisa. How are you getting on? I'm enjoying doing something that's a little bit different, crafty makey. Lots of people like making cakes and stuff, but this is a way of, like, you make your cakes and you make something out of food and it lasts forever. Right, so my last, that can be a strawberry. That can be pretend to be a strawberry. It'll be a strawberry when it's painted red, right? Make those a little bit smaller because they look massive. Right, give it some texture. And these bits have got, strawberries got bits of cloves stuck to them, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Right, so I've done those. Oh, I don't know what these are. I think they're blueberries. There's 3 blueberries in the middle. So if you want them all the same size, you can just do this. Not that it matters. Do you remember with fruit, it's all different. Who cares? It does look lovely. It does look really lovely when it's done. I promise you. I was so impressed the first time I made them that they came actually. I thought, how do you even make something out of dough? And I'll try and lift it up for you in a minute. So then what we've got is we've got some dog hairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 leaves. So we'll do 5 leaves round, and then the flowers and the, what's the names? Flowers and the blueberries. Why can't I remember the name of the blueberry? Honestly, this will look... I'm even pleased with this, doing it under pressure, because yesterday, you see now how he turned out, didn't you? That was under pressure. That was doing something difficult under pressure, and he ended up... Poor Raymond. Look at him, he's all squashed. Right, come on, Claire, stop getting distracted. I think that's too big. That's too big. Right, we don't need them that big, Claire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll do. Right, leaves. So easy. Just do it on the end of your finger and just make the end of it like that. I hope this year everybody reins it in with the spending. Because the thing is, my kids have grown up now. They've grown up now. Well, my youngest one's Daniel's 16, but he goes to work with his dad and he earns a bit of his own money at weekends. And seriously, all the money that I have spent on him in the past on Lego, you know, and I don't think they think any better of you. I don't. They don't think you're a better parent for spending more money on them. Unless it's something that, you know, I know that gadgets and devices are expensive, aren't they? Hello, Lindsay. Right, so I'm going to have one there. I'm going to put one there. And the thing is, I'm only using this as kind of a guide. Be much more interesting, won't it, if you watch this like back afterwards. If you watch it back afterwards and it goes a bit faster. But I'm gonna do another live. I'm gonna get a brew and I'm gonna do another live because I want to show you. I want it to be out there how to make a snowman, because it is so easy and they look really good. And you know, with sticking these in the top, you can make them as like Christmas decorations. You don't need to spend a fortune. And I tell you something now, if this was in like a rusticy shop in the Lake District, you'd probably pay a fortune for it. And it doesn't take that long to make. It doesn't. They don't take that long. But remember what I said about keeping them dry. Once they're baked, well, I say baked, what I mean is dried out. I think it says you do them. Let me read to you what it says. Cooking or drying. Cooking and drying are certainly the most complicated part in salt dough art. Principle to know. Drying or cooking correctly will guarantee your salt dough objects to last a longer time. Right, air dry. Cooking. I prefer cooking because I want it to be right. So it says the several methods exist, but this says if the object air dried a little, start cooking at 50 degrees. 50 degrees. After about 30 minutes, you can increase gently up to 100 degrees. Now, I've already found out, because I burnt the Fimo, that my cooker needs a lot less than that. The thicker the object, the longer it needs to dry. For each centimetre, count roughly 2 hours at 100 degrees. It also depends on your oven. So, just think about it as just drying them out, because you wouldn't want it to go all wrong. Because I think they just crack and they go no good they just go no good and crack, and if you dry them out too quick. Right, let's have that there. See, for something that's so simple, they really do look nice. If I could be bothered to print that in properly. Right, my favourite part now. I like doing this bit. This is so sweet because these just... So how many has it got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I might need a bit more dough. And I'm nearly done with this one. And I'm going to paint them, put my pictures on. And don't forget, if any ladies are pregnant, I'll be doing my usual birth talk, just so you can look over it, and I'll try and find out if there's anything different in the hospital. If you were a proper professional, you'd have a little rolling pin, but I'm not a proper professional. Right, so you don't want them really, really thin. And the good thing about those, right, so there you go, look. It'll drop off my finger in a minute, won't it? So that's, I like to press them down with these. Right, so remember we need some water, and I'm going to do one there. Press it down in the middle. It just gives it a nice middle to your flour as well. It is easier to put them on when it stays in the holder thing. So I want it there. Oh, that's done my little thing for me. Right, where do I want the next one? 1, 2, 3. I might have to do 6 because otherwise it's not gonna work, is it? It's nice to. I've tell you what, because I said that I was going to do this, it's forced me to do it. So last night I made that bread thing instead of watching telly. Well, I did something else as well. Shall I tell you what else I did? Me and my daughter, we watched this full moon ceremony online, something that I've subscribed to. And we watched it online. And we did this full moon ceremony where you had to write out a list of things that like bad from 2020, and then what your wishes were for next year. And then what you had to do is you had to put your list in a dish of water and put it outside under the moon. So it's outside under the moon, our good lists of all the things that we want to happen next year, and then the naughty list of all the things that we don't want. And I put on my list stress, money worries, amongst other things. A new car. No, I do want a new car. That was on my good list. So the naughty list you put on a plate and you had to set fire to it. Well, as my husband did remind me, he said, well, you could have set fire to it outside. He'd come up the stairs at bedtime. What are you doing? You're burning the house down. You're burning the house down. Why not? It was funny. And anyway, this morning I got up and it still smelled. I mean, it was contained, the fire, in a ceramic thing, but 2 sheets of A4 paper, it made a lot of smell. It wasn't my best idea, let's put it that way. Right, so these are these little berry things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, so I know where they're going. Put a bit of water there. 1. That's too big, isn't it? So you see how it doesn't stick properly if it doesn't have any water on it. And you know, you do have to work pretty quick because it does dry out. So I'm hoping you're liking that. Hoping you like it. Right, and it has a pokey and hole in it. And then it's just got a couple down here. Oh, it's going to look really sweet when it's done this. We'll have 2 there. 1, 2. And that, you know where I've done the plaited bit? It's already started to dry out. It does dry out really quick. You've got to be quick. So Bailey's reindeer outfit didn't work that well. They look more like donuts, them, don't they? Never mind. Because I've squashed them down too much. Ah! His reindeer outfit's too small for him. If anybody's got a dog that'll fit, you can have it. Don't know where I got it from. Right, berries. Right, so we've got another 3 berries here. Berries, blueberries or whatever they are. Right. 1, 2, 3. Doesn't matter how you do it. Because that's why I like drawing things like trees and flowers, because it doesn't matter if they go wrong. You know, the trees that I paint, you can't really do a tree wrong as long as you do all the branches going up. Can't go wrong. I was hoping to do some more painting in the unit this week, but I think I've given myself too much to do. But I will email the coordinator, the ward manager, to see if she wants me to do any more. Right, I'm just going to do one down bottom. Oh, I'm going to do one there because that let's put one there, and one there. Watercolour. Do you know what? I would make my life so much easier if I just used a paintbrush. Wouldn't I? It's a bit more accurate where you're going with a paintbrush, and I've just got one more tiny little bit to do, and then I'm going to make myself a brew. How's it got to 25 to 12? How's that happened? And then I've got to go and do shopping. Right, so this, really easy. Right, I've shown you. I know it's boring when it takes me so long to do it, but it shows you. Right, moment of truth. Do you know what I should do? I should just lift it up on here, shouldn't I? And then I can slither it onto my baking tray. I've got bits of cloves everywhere. I thought the cloves are what actually makes it. So can you see? Can you see it? So that's going to go in the oven. I might put them in to dry out now, actually. But I should just do them all at once, shouldn't I? So I'm going to make a brew. I'm going to come back and I'm going to make simple snowman. A simple snowman. Right? See you in a bit. Bye.